Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting.
It's time for the briefing. Although, since we don't have any contact with HQ, it's not like this is an official mission. Anyway, it looks like the seizure of Tyler Island and the relief from Osea have been postponed.
Not surprising.
In the meantime, we just have to do what we can to survive. Since losing its capital city of Ferbanti, Erusian forces have separated into smaller, autonomous factions. It looks like Erusia's largest force and leading faction will pass through the area around this base. The space elevator is significant to them, so they're probably heading there.
Should we intercept?
Why? I doubt they're gonna start a fight now.
Our top priority should be to get home. Let's go already.
Yeah. It's not like we have the supplies, power, or even a real reason to put up a fight. But, what are we going to do if they bring the fight to us? We need to be ready to push them back.
I'm gonna ruin their day, that's what we're gonna do.
There's an old castle that's been converted into a stockpiling base. Shalaji Castle. It's currently occupied by some of the Erusian forces that broke off, but we need ammo and fuel. They appear to have converted a freeway into a runway, so we can expect them to have the capacity for air combat. But they'll be easier to handle than Erusia's lead faction. Well, we can't use all our aircraft to attack. The transport carrying the stolen supplies needs support. Okay, Strider Squadron. You head out first and neuter the dogs at the stockpiling base. Rendezvous with Cyclops Squadron, who will bring the transport. Then we bring the supplies back to this base.
Gotcha.
Aircraft are our only threat.
Sounds good.
We'll make it. We're all gonna fly home. Together.
Well, this'll be interesting.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi.
Some crazy stuff going on. But yeah, I do have to disagree with what the princess said. To an extent. Like, you can absolutely use situations like that to kind of
forces are in the
think about that kind of thing.
No
But
allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team. Get to
there's
work.
definitely something to be said for
Unidentified aircraft.
being able to consider
Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendly or not.
Oh, don't worry, we're not.
So, we capture this base and take the fuel and supplies. That's the plan, right, Trigger?
You take if you want to live. That's how it was where I grew up.
I was just double-checking mission orders, Hushin. Folks, protect the base! Strider 1, target my aircraft is destroyed! Abandon and fall back to our real position! Retreat!
But yeah, there's definitely something to be said for being able to consider somebody else's position and make judgments about what their move might have been based on that.
Refugees must be fleeing since the conflict got worse. Unidentified aircraft. Identify at once or we'll open fire. What is he talking about? They already are firing on us. The enemy's confused. I know.
We're all confused.
Confirming Strider 1 destroyed target. We're all out of ammo. Don't give up. We're not going to lose our country again.
Bye.
Our anti-aircraft weaponry is down by 30%. Why are they attacking this base? So what's this faction split from the
We're
Erusian
all
military?
freaking
The autonomous state of
desperate.
Shalaji used to be a nation. The region has always leaned towards independence. Those who want to restore their
Right,
homelands
it's
flock
fine.
to it. Apparently, Their core consists of officers from Boston and Shirashi.
Are they our enemies?
They're our enemy's enemy, but they're our friends. Resistance is strong. They seem pretty desperate. Fox 2. Your plane will last up if you stay in there too long.
It's fine. I've got anti-icing heaters.
They have more aircraft! More planes incoming! Fire more missiles! Missile squad, no?
Right.
Coming up on the castle. Let's hurry up and capture this base so we can get its fuel and supplies.
Shit! I feel like we're a group of burglars.
Don't say that. This is for our survival.
Yeah, I know.
That's Shalashi Castle. Get away from the stone building and take shelter somewhere sturdier or underground. Drop where you are and cover your head and keep your jet engine. I'm on my target. Hurry up and take out prep. In gun range.
I'm surprised he didn't turn, like, at all. Ow! I turned right into that missile. Missed.
Yeah, they can go on ahead without me.
Heal him a chopper. Goodbye. Asshole.
Strutter 1, missile launched.
Yeah. I actually like the fact that they reused some of the maps.
Roger.
Because I remember this castle.
Target locked. We've lost more than half of our forces. The battle won't last much longer. Let them have our lives. As long as our nation stands, the young will carry on. The Sam is out. We're running out of ways to strike back. New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
Fuck off!
High cultural value. It's unfortunate we had to bomb it like we did.
We do what we need to survive, right?
Not something I'll tell my son about.
I actually destroyed a wall on this castle once. In another life.
Restoration. Don't worry. As long as we accelerate inside the tunnel, they won't be able to shoot us down that easy. Thanks to we have missiles. Their interceptors are in the air.
All right.
Getting to takeoff speed inside the tunnel is insane.
Oh, hi! Bullshit! I saw where that angle was.
This is the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Land immediately and hand over your planes and base to us. You must be the stewards. It's absurd for you to be talking so tough after losing one of the leaders at Fort Monty. You
Bye, Sol 4. Fuck off.
He's okay. Under these conditions, I can see his parachute. His brain takes it to safety.
3 to go. Don't let them work together. Back up trigger. Welcome.
Righto.
Strider 1, AA gun destroyed. Strider 1, Fox 2.
Bill's been hit. He's ejected. Damn. We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time.
Fuck off. Really?
As expected, but a lucky shot would be boring. Some kind of energy weapon. No, it's a railgun.
Strider 1, you have a bogey approaching at high speed. Bearing 090, straight from the east.
In a wyvern? Huh. Didn't expect to see a wyvern here, but alright. Oh wait, nope. Never mind, that's the,
High-speed projection aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, we must find someone to guide you.
Mihai,
Person. Mihai.
just have a heart attack already and die.
This Legion squad will be retreating in
You're obnoxious.
advised to temporarily withdraw them. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on. Hey, look at the color of that plane. Man, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. Still good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger, and the rest of us will the rest we're on perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Welcome. Might just cost us our lives.
Hit on unidentified aircraft. Beginning of mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack. Unidentified aircraft. Land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then to see if he's truly worthy. Like the sky's been
You're in a bullshit plane. This isn't a fair test, you cocksucker.
someone to guide us. I know. I can't think of
I
anyone
use that as an insult way too much for somebody that actually enjoys doing that, but you know.
to get behind to help me something. Drone fighters don't grow with the world. They have witnessed the cosmos of the skies. And they're what the First Legion Air Force should be fighting against. Headmaster's moving in a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit. Keep firing those missiles until you blow him to pieces.
I am out of
To
QAMs.
take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it. There are pilots like you in every generation, and I've found every last one of them.
Oh yeah?
Fox 2.
Not bad.
You sure about that, you little shitlord?
The unidentified aircraft is going down.
You got him. Trigger is splashed abandoned. Can you hear me, pilot with the 3 strikes? This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
I mean, I know how it coulda, well, how we could have ended that a little early, but
No Osean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here.
just saying, he was right there. We could have
The resupply went well. We should be okay on food and fuel reserves for a little while.
There were a
at
lot
least.
of things to shoot.
Luckily, the rumor that the Erusian army is advancing nearby is only a rumor. There's no sign of them from the skies. Rumors. This is what happens when you lose communications. But we got one good fact. The plane Trigger shot down was an advanced model of the XO-2 Wyvern. It was developed in the last Continental War. Erusia had a lot up their sleeves. Apparently, they were even supposed to have Belkin aircraft back in the First War. What if Trigger couldn't shoot it down? Just thinking about it gives me chills. We're lucky to be here. In war, you never know what's lurking behind the curtains. But it looks like everything's loose now. A solid chain of command, rest periods after sorties, a battlefield where you know friend from foe. All of that's gone now, lost in a fog of confusion. Feels like a distant dream. Now, just how the hell are we gonna get out of this mess?
Good question. Ooh, S rank. I'll take it. What's up next?
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island.
Oh! It's one of Mihai's granddaughters.
She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory'd been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip.
Hell yeah! Good work.
Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used
That
to
I
talk
shot
about him.
down.
He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkins? Because this guy was a Belkin, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm Belkin, born and raised.
Goddamn
The country
Grayman.
is gone now.
I called it.
Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair.
Yep.
We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish, to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine.
You know,
Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
but the voice actor did not capture the emotion.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
Of course.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators.
I see at least 5.
I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusea after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder.
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
Let's get the briefing
My
started.
lights are flickering a little bit.
We've done enough air operations. Just let us go home.
There's no path for us to get home. Whatever direction you fly, it'll be right into a hail of enemy fire. Earlier, we received a communication via the partially restored general network. Here is what it contained. Apparently, the Erusian radicals have gathered around the space elevator, as it's a source of energy. Give the warmongers a powerful energy source, and you give them the luxury to keep on fighting. In response to this, people from both Osea and Erusea have joined forces.
Hey!
And will take down the final Arsenal bird in a saturation attack from the air, you see.
Damn.
Once that's achieved,
Okay.
they'll take the space elevator from the aggressors.
Has the source been verified?
It could be fake. I hear you. Take a look at what's written at the end. Hey, dumbass. If you want to bring the world back from the brink, go to the lighthouse and see the future.
Dumbass? Sounds familiar.
It certainly does. It's from those guys we met in Tyler Island, the 444 squad. It's a message for all those looking to end the war. But I also think it's a message for Trick.
Guess we'll do what it says.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I'm thinking we go roast that damn bird.
Looks like we're all on the same page. It's time to end this war.
And I guarantee I've got to fight
Time to
a
fly,
freaking
guys.
drone
Let's go get that arsenal.
based on either the Falcon or the Wyvern.